Okay everyone, so here we are working on the engine. We're gonna, after talking to Corey, we're gonna go with some new lifters. They're very expensive. They're Johnson 21116 LSR or SLR. They're like short. They're like short rockers. So we're gonna go with some short, not rockers, lifters. Some short lifters. They got a bar and stuff like that. Very expensive. They're like $550 or something like that. And it's gonna help negate the bruising on the lifter board. We're also gonna go with, I have to do adjustable push rods. Not adjustable push rods. I gotta order adjustable push rod, and then go with a new set of push rod lengths because the length's gonna change. Also gotta get another camshaft. So I've already ordered the lifters. I've already ordered some of the gaskets. I ordered a new plate, but I still got to figure out how to get this old bolt off, and order some other various things. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and take this head off because we're going to do a whole new set of lifters. I'm going to go ahead and take this head off and pull the lifters out of here. And also I'm going to take the oil pan off, and I'm going to check the oil pan for any metal that might be caught in the screen or any metal chunks down there, so I get as much out as possible. So yeah, let's go ahead and pop this head off. I'm going to go ahead and remove the tape as well, just so that I could actually get the head off correctly. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, so got the head off and the oil pan. As you can see right here, there's metal shavings all over from what the lifter is. Didn't come out with the oil. There's the pins, the needle bearings, I believe. So, look at this tray, got a little right there in the pickup screen. So, very little in the pan, but of course gravity since I had it upside down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean it. There's a bug. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take off the tray here and catch all the lifters that fell, because like 5 of them fell. Get those lifters, get the metal out, as much metal as I can find, and clean that bottom of that oil pan. So let's keep going. Okay everyone, so I got a lot of the metal out, as much as I can find. I've also used the air compressor and terry cloths and metal magnets to try to find anything I can find in there, as far as metal. I also got some stuff out of the oil pan, very little, but I cleaned it out, blew it out as well. So this right here is a pile that's the majority of the lifters, what's left of the lifter that came out. Most of it was sitting right there on top. Once you took off the windage tray, I think that's what it's called, because of gravity. So yeah, the next step is I'm gonna go ahead and prep the oil pan gasket for reinstall by putting RTV all over it. Also cleaning off some of the surface on here as well. And then I'm gonna put the oil pan back on, and well, I gotta put those trays back on, then the oil pan back on. So let's go ahead and do that. I already cleaned up kind of a lot of the surface, just wiped it all down, but there's still some RTV here and there, so I'm gonna get my razor blade out and get it out. So yeah, let's keep going. I still gotta figure out how to get that one bolt out right here that is stripped. So that's gonna be my next project after I get the oil pan on. Alright everyone, so we are finally putting the engine back together. For the most part, we're gonna do a lot of work on it tonight, like camshaft, heads, timing chain, front cover. We're gonna do all that stuff, but we're not gonna do and we're also gonna measure the length for the push rods, because that's the last thing I have to order. So the cam came in today from Liegenfelter, or Liegenfelter, I think it's Liegenfelter. It's their GT12 cam. It's the same cam that was in there. It cost about $420. So let's go ahead and get this opened up and get to work. Okay, so here's the Liegenfelter cam. I know it says Comp Cam on the front. GT12. Got the dimensions on it. Let's see what they are. So, cam card here. So you can see 227, 235 at 0.5, low separation angle 115. So the lower your low separation angle, I don't know if you knew that, the more grind and more choppiness your cam is. So 115 is actually pretty high, so this isn't a very choppy cam. So what I'm gonna do next is, of course, I'm gonna remove the little rag I got here in the center, and then I'm gonna go ahead and lube up the cam with some oil, some 1550 oil, whatever the oil I got over there. It doesn't really matter because I'm gonna be changing oil a lot, and lube up the cam so that it can slide in there a lot easier. And it's pretty easy. So when you slide the cam in there, you just kind of slide in there with both hands, and you constantly turn it so you can make it sure it slides in there. But it's pretty self-explanatory. So let's go ahead and get that going. Okay, so we got the cam slid in there. The next thing is to install the cam retainer plate. I got 4 new bolts to go with it, and the book that I'm using to rebuild this is called How to Rebuild the LS Series Engine, saying that you only torque these down to 11 foot-pounds. I could tell you, when I took them off, they were not 11 foot-pounds. Whoever put them in there put a whole bunch of torque, what is it called, Loctite on it. So I'm not gonna put a lot on there. I'm gonna put a little bit, just to make sure. But yeah, so let's go ahead and put the plate on. Okay, so we got the retainer plate on, and we're putting the timing chain on. Right now it's not being secured. I still need to take the bolts out right there and put some Loctite on them and torque them down. But the timing gear has been lubricated with oil, as long as the chain, and then I'm gonna torque it down. And according to the instructions here, I need to turn it to a certain location. I think the mark on the sprocket is at the 12 o'clock position. Spin the crankshaft by hand to the cam, locating pin, and yada yada yada. So I'll follow these instructions and keep going. Okay, so we got the timing chain and sprocket all torqued down to 26 foot-pounds with Loctite on there. And I also got the oil pump. This is the original oil pump. I took it apart a few days ago and made sure there was no metal anything in there, and there wasn't when I took it off, so I didn't have to clean it. If I had to clean it, I was going to buy a new one. So what the next thing I'm going to do is just going back and reinstall the oil pump. It's held on by, as you can see, these 4 bolts right here, and I think there's a 5th one that comes from the bottom. So let's go ahead and install this real quick. Okay, so we got the oil pump on and torque down. So the next thing is put the timing cover on with the gasket. So what I'm gonna do next is I've already cleaned the gasket off pretty well, and I'm gonna put down some RTV just for extra measure, since I'm reusing the gasket. It's a metal gasket. I know. I talked to my best friend Alex Glenn here, and he said, you know, don't cheap out on gaskets, but hey, it looks completely fine, especially when this doesn't have as many miles on it as you think. So I'm just gonna put RTV on it for extra measure, and keep moving forward. Okay, so what we got here, got the timing chain on. I think timing cover on. I think I cross threaded one bolt, but oh well. So what we got here are some Johnson lifters, and these have their own. It's my first time pulling them out. These have their own retaining bar, so they won't spin or whatever. And they also are SLR lifters, so they're short. They have like shorter range going up and down. So the goal of that is, since my bore is damaged with these shorter lifters, it won't go down as far and cause any any more damage on the lifters and stuff like that. So I think they're pretty self-explanatory on how to install. At least I hope they are. But for safety measures, I'm gonna go in the house and I am going to just check someone's YouTube video real quick, and we're gonna get these installed, And then after that, we're gonna put one head on, and maybe we'll put the second one on, but I don't think so, because I want to take that head to get the coolant temperature sensor drilled out by a shop right down the street, because it snapped off in there. It won't leak fluid because it's the actual sensor that snapped and not the, it's hard to explain. But anyway, so yeah, let's go look up a video how to install these lifters properly. Then we're going to install them real quick, and then we'll get to torquing down the head. Okay, so we're about to get going on putting the lifters in. I will not be needing the lifter trays because of the link bar is going to protect it all. Is going to basically, the link bar negates the lifter trays. So I'm just going to put the lifters in directly. Right now they've been soaking for about 20 or 30 minutes in oil. I know sometimes you're supposed to leave it overnight, but I think we'll be okay the way they are. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and install these lifters. Then we're gonna install at least the passenger side head, and go from there. So we currently have the lifters in the board. The lifter is actually in there. Let me get my light. So yeah, we have the lifters in there. After reading through the notes, you're not supposed to pre-soak or like oil up the lifters and soak them in oil, at least for LS engines, but oh well, it's too late. So got the lifters on there. I cleaned the deck surface as well, and we also put the gasket down. As you can see, it's marked here. This towards the front. Maybe I'll pull it off one more time just to make sure the correct size is up. I did, however, just found out that I only have one damn gasket, and I thought I had two in the same package. So I'm gonna have to go to the store and get another gasket, or I could just go get one tomorrow while I'm already out messing around with the head for the other side. So we're gonna go ahead and put this gasket on here, torque it down, and get this one out the way, and then we'll just move forward tomorrow and call it a night. Okay, so we have the cylinder head sitting on here. Sorry, my light's terrible. We have the cylinder head sitting on here. We're about to torque it down. I'm actually nervous when I do cylinder heads, because I had so many issues with my C4 on getting them to seal, and it kept on leaking. Not leaking actually coolant, but leaking combustion gases, and causing the coolant to burble out. But this engine had no issues with sealing, and I didn't build it from the ground up, so it should be great. What I have here are some just stock GM OEM torque to yield head bolts, and torque to yield means you can only use them once because they stretch out, and and after that you need to throw them in the trash. I mean, there are some good ones out there that you can reuse, like ARP, but they cost like 3 or 4 times more. So I'm just using some normal ones. I got normal GM Felpro or GM Performance head gaskets for LS3. So we're gonna go ahead and torque these down and follow the proper sequence. There's a sequence here in the book. It usually starts on the inside and works its way out. So we're gonna go and start torquing these down real quick.